Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Scott's Quick Cash Class. I'm Scott, and we got a good one for you today. We're talking about leverage. What is leverage and how do we use it for our advantage? So, interesting statistic, 87% of millionaires say leverage, not hard work, was their turning point to financial freedom. So, we've been talking about a few different things in the series, and what I've been trying to get across, at least for me, and what really helped me is when my mindset changed. And leverage was always a interesting concept of how can I do more with less, right? Because if you guys are like me, when I started out, I didn't have two nickels to rub together. So trying to figure out how can I get more out of my time, how can I get more out of my investment dollar, how can I get more out of my resources was really tough. So I'm going to try to give you guys a few points that help me, and hopefully you guys can use this to start or continue your path to financial freedom. So another interesting statistic is 95% of real estate deals over $500,000 are done with other people's money, whether that be a bank, private financing, a lot of different options, but it's done with other people's money, right? Because it's really difficult to just pull 500 grand out of your pocket to buy a property. I had a friend tell me, this was going back 20 years ago, right? When I first started understanding the concept of leverage, and he was explaining to me that he's like, Scott, how long would it take you at your current job? And I was making about $50,000 a year there. He's like, how long would it take you at your current job to save $1 million? And I'm like, well, if I didn't pay any taxes or eat or do anything else, I said it would take me 20 years. And he goes, yeah. He goes, so really how long would it take you? And I said, well, realistically, it'd take me all my life at $50,000 if I scrimped and saved. If I worked 40 years and lived on half that, I could save $1 million. He goes, if you use other people's money and other people's time, you can really significantly shorten that. And that's a very accurate statement. So that kind of made me think of like, okay, how can I do that? So let's talk about a couple different ones. Other people's money, that's the most common one. Rich people do not use their own money. Millionaires, and I'm not saying they won't use any of their money, but millionaires use their assets and then they leverage their assets with other people's money. That's the key. A lot of times when they're really good, they don't even use their own assets. They use their ideas to leverage other people's money because they get people to buy into their ideas because they've already been successful at generating revenue, generating assets, generating income. So they use other people's money. A lot of times they want to see maybe a little skin in the game, but if you can find a way to use other people's money, you'll be much further ahead. Now, it obviously does cost you interest and stuff like that. It's not free, but if you find a good enough deal, it definitely makes sense. Next thing that wealthy and successful people do is other people's time. And I'm not talking about using other people. This isn't, if you want to be successful in life, at least I've found, you want to help other people, and the more people you help, generally the more successful you are. So I'm not talking about using other people's time just to use. I'm saying use their time to make your time more efficient. I am not good at very many things. Organization is not one of them. And so I use other people's time to help me stay organized, because that then lets me focus on what I can do best and generate ideas so that I can be successful, right? And that helps that person be successful because now they get to focus on something that they're good at and they get compensated for it. So using other people's times is very important. Last one I'm going to use is other people's knowledge and resources. And I have a previous episode, it talks about mentorship. That kind of falls into this a little bit, but using other people's resources and knowledge will help shortcut you. So maybe, and this is just a for instance, maybe you know somebody that has a building that they don't want to sell, right? Maybe it's paid off, maybe it's whatever. Maybe they don't want to manage it anymore. maybe you offer and you partner with that person, you offer your time, right? And they offer their resource, which would be the building, and their knowledge, and teach you how to manage that building. And maybe you take a small cut, maybe you take 5%, right, to do that. But you give that person their time back, so they're getting time back, you're getting knowledge and using their resources, and maybe you're making a little bit of money. Those type of people, if you can find those people and you know, look for different real estate clubs or look for different investment clubs that you can find, whether it be on Facebook or whether it be, you know, in your local town. I'm really big on face-to-face interactions. I know social media and other things have helped us, but if you can find someone who has that, I guarantee you there's people in your town, wherever you're at, there's people in your town that are looking to share their knowledge and possibly get out of whatever business they're in. And so there's a lot of opportunity for the younger generation now to gain knowledge from the older generation, not just on social media or on YouTube where we're at. So there's a lot of people that have some good resources and knowledge that if you bring some value to them, you can tap into that. And so I'm gonna leave you with that. We're gonna do a tip of the day and question of the day. So question of the day: what is one area of your life where you could stop doing it all by yourself and start leveraging it smarter? And that could be anywhere from, maybe it's laundry, right? You know, maybe you just despise doing laundry, you're not good at it. Maybe you do that and you take it somewhere and it gets done, or you pay someone else to do that, and that frees up 2, 3, 4 hours of your week so that you could focus on positive things, right? So think about one area. And then tip of the day: leverage creates wealth, labor creates exhaustion, right? So find a way to start leveraging your time, your knowledge, your resources, and it will exponentially pay you back. And this isn't about using, it's about helping other people and helping yourself. So hopefully you heard something you like today. Remember, every day I'm bringing you 5, 6, 7 minute videos to help you guys and help me in our financial journey. If you like something or you learned something, click below, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. Until next time.